Iran launched more than 2,000 drones, not over weeks, over days. On March 1st, 2026 U.S. service members were killed in a drone strike on a base in Kuwait. Most of them did not get through, not because the defense got lucky, but because something was waiting for them, something that had never been deployed before. That campaign has a name. Admiral Brad Cooper, head of U.S. Central Command, called it Operation Epic Fury. And the scale of what happened during it is only now becoming clear. On March 14th, 2026, 2 weeks after the Kuwait attack, the U.S. Army awarded a single contract worth $20 billion, running through March 2036 to a defense company founded in 2017 by Palmer Luckey. The man who built Oculus was now holding the contract to defend American forces against the largest drone campaign in history. 3 systems were deployed in that conflict. The first one does not fire a single round. System 1, Lattice, is not a weapon, it is a brain. It is Anduril's artificial intelligence command and control platform, and its job is to connect everything on the battlefield into a single, real-time operational picture. Radar stations, sensor towers, camera arrays, interceptors, command centers, every node feeding into one system simultaneously. The Pentagon's Joint Interagency Task Force 401, stood up by Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth specifically to address the drone threat, selected Lattice as the U.S. government's counter-drone command and control backbone. That decision was the result of what Lattice does under pressure. Conventional air defense runs on a relay. A radar return gets read by an operator. That operator calls up the chain. A commander weighs the data. A weapon gets assigned. Authorization comes through. Each handoff costs time, and against a Shahed 136 flying at 115 miles per hour toward a fuel depot, time is the one resource that runs out fastest. That relay chain takes minutes. Minutes is a death sentence when the threat is already in the air. Lattice cuts the relay entirely. The instant a contact enters sensor range, the system classifies it: drone, missile, aircraft, or false return. It calculates heading, altitude, speed, and the intercept window. It assigns the appropriate response, all of it resolved in seconds, without a single radio call. The operator is still present, the final call stays human, but the 90 seconds of processing that used to precede that call no longer exists. Iran's swarm doctrine was not built to destroy targets, it was built to destroy decision-making. Send enough simultaneous contacts and human operators saturate. The radar picture becomes noise. Response times stretch. Coordination breaks down. Get the timing right and 1 or 2 drones punch through to whatever matters. That playbook had worked before. It had worked for years. Lattice does not saturate. 20 contacts or 200, the processing load is identical. The swarm strategy was designed for a system with a ceiling. Lattice does not have one. There is no exhaustion in an algorithm. There is no confusion under pressure. There is no moment where the system looks at 200 incoming drones and hesitates. If you want to understand exactly how Operation Epic Fury actually plays out, how Anduril went from a startup nobody took seriously to the company defending US bases against the largest drone war in history, subscribe. We tell the stories the Pentagon press releases do not. System 2. Roadrunner. Before Anduril entered the conflict, Iran's economic calculation was airtight. A Shahed 136 costs roughly $20,000 to produce. A Patriot interceptor runs approximately $4 million per launch. An Iron Dome round lands somewhere between $40,000 and $100,000. Launch 100 drones and the defending side burns through millions stopping them. The drones cost a fraction of that. Sustain the campaign long enough and the defender runs out of interceptors before the attacker runs out of drones. Roadrunner is Anduril's autonomous interceptor. Twin-jet-powered, vertical takeoff and landing, launched from a compact climate-controlled enclosure called a nest. No runway, no catapult, no aircraft carrier. It launches, climbs, and closes on a target fed directly from Lattice at high subsonic speed. When the threat is confirmed, the intercept executes. When the threat disappears, scrubbed mission, false contact, target neutralized by other means, Roadrunner does not self-destruct. It returns, lands vertically on deployable legs, and is ready to go again at near zero additional cost. That single characteristic breaks the economics of everything Iran had planned. Traditional interceptors are consumable. Each launch reduces inventory by 1 round and by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Roadrunner is recoverable. The Pentagon confirmed that with a $250 million contract for over 500 units. Anduril's founder, Palmer Luckey, the same person who built Oculus before starting Anduril in 2017, described it as the first recoverable explosive weapon ever fielded. The Roadrunner-M variant carries a modular high-explosive warhead capable of intercepting Group 3 aerial threats, the class that includes the Iranian Shahed. Integrated with Lattice, a single operator can run multiple Roadrunner units at once across simultaneous engagements. Each night the campaign continued, Iran launched more drones confident the defense would deplete. The defense did not deplete. Roadrunners returned, rearmed, and went out again. Iran was spending finite inventory against a system the other side could sustain indefinitely. The cost equation that had made the swarm strategy viable for years had been reversed. System 3, the kill web individually. Lattice sees the battlefield and Roadrunner eliminates targets inside it. Together, what they form is something the US military has pursued for decades without achieving it at this scale. A kill web. Not a chain breaks at its weakest link. A web where every sensor and every effector is in continuous communication, and the response to any contact is automatic, distributed, and parallel. A Shahed 136 crosses into the operational airspace. A ground sensor, a tower, a surveillance asset overhead, one of them picks up the contact. Lattice does not log it and wait. It builds the full threat picture in real time. Speed, altitude, bearing, probable target, optimal intercept window. It cross-references that data across every other sensor in the network simultaneously. A Roadrunner is already in the air before the alert has resolved on the operator's display. The intercept executes. Lattice updates the picture. The next contact is already being processed. This runs across dozens of simultaneous engagements without any single element in the network becoming a constraint. The Shahed 136 was built for a world where that kind of response did not exist. At $20,000 a unit and 115 miles per hour, it does not need sophistication. Send 150 of them at infrastructure in a single night and the math works in the attacker's favor, even if only 5 reach their targets. That math held for years because no defense system could process, assign, and execute across that volume without degrading. Lattice processes without degrading. Roadrunner engages without depleting. The old calculation stopped working. JIATF 401, the Joint Interagency Task Force 401, the Pentagon body built specifically to close the counter-drone gap, sent its leadership to Ukraine before the $20 billion contract was signed. Army Brigadier General Matt Ross, the task force director, saw firsthand on that trip how autonomous systems had rewritten the logic of modern air defense. What JIATF 401 recognized, and what Operation Epic Fury proved in the field, was that Iran's entire campaign rested on an assumption that was no longer valid. Iran built a strategy around human limitations. Anduril built a system with almost none. For every Patriot launch against a Shahed, the defending side spent close to $4 million to destroy a $20,000 target. Multiply that gap across 2,000 drone contacts and the arithmetic becomes a strategic liability. Iran understood this. The campaign was designed to exhaust, not just to damage, to drain. The $20 billion Army contract inverts that logic at the procurement level. Lattice is the software foundation, which means every sensor and interceptor plugged into the network, legacy systems, new platforms, systems still in development, draws from the same operational picture and contributes back to it. The network improves with each engagement. Software updates push continuously. The system fielded on day 1 of Operation Epic Fury is not the system running today. Anduril's Arsenal 1 manufacturing campus, a $1 billion facility outside Columbus, Ohio, is projected to employ more than 4,000 people over the next decade. Roadrunner interceptors, the Barracuda cruise missile family, and the Fury autonomous aircraft are all moving into production there. A 12-year-old defense startup is now operating at a scale that traditional prime contractors took generations to reach. And it did it by funding its own research. taking Roadrunner from concept to combat ready in under 2 years and building systems the Pentagon could not source anywhere else. The drone campaign Iran launched was decades in the making. The doctrine was sound, the execution was disciplined, and the economics had been validated in proxy conflicts across the region for years. What Iran did not account for was a defense architecture that matched volume with automation, matched attrition with recovery, and matched the speed of the threat with the speed of the response. The defense did not outlast the offense because it had more resources. It outlasted it because it had fewer constraints. This was not just a weapon, it was a system, and Iran was not ready for it. If a story like this is the reason you came back to this channel, the next one is already in the works. Same kind of war, different system. We break down exactly how Anduril's Eagle Eye helmet is changing what individual soldiers can see on the battlefield. Subscribe so you are there when it drops.